don't have my full nice setup here. So is this thing on? It is on, okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to use my makeshift setup here. Trying to not make it an excuse not to do this. Okay, so last week we launched a redesign of our embeds. Embeds are this thing where you can take a sandbox and put it on your blog or put it in your documentation, and we kind of gave it a refresh so that it focuses more on your content and not the shell of CodeSandbox. So which looks pretty cool. I really like it. But what we did not do is the share sheet. So we have this sheet which you use to share. Am I sharing the right screen? I don't think okay, let me see. I move this around. Okay, I am sharing the right screen. Oh wow, why is there? Okay, wait, I am thoroughly confused of what's going on. Okay, this is eCam. Okay, perfect. Sorry, it's sharing the right thing. So, yeah, what we did not do is the way you use an embed is you go to share, and then you have these links which you can put on Medium or your blog or your documentation, and it's kind of cool. But oh god, it's been so long. I don't know if I have comments or how do I see comments. Okay. Oh, hello. There we go. Let's see. Can we pop this out? We can. Sweet. I'm gonna bring this to my other window, and to be honest, forget about it for a while. Okay. Yeah. So the way you share it still looks a little clunky. There are like way too many options. It's kind of like So Danny, who's the designer at CodeSandbox, one of the designers, he did a pretty good job in redesigning the whole thing, and now it looks really clean. So you've got your embed sheet, you have a nice giant preview, and then you have these sections which you can expand, and you can customize it if you want, but you can also use the defaults, which are also pretty cool. So what I want to do is kind of mock this sidebar before it's time for stand-up so that I have something to show, which is like 45 minutes. That seems like a good time. So let's put Figma on the right. I'm going to drag my code window, which is a CodeSandbox instance, I guess. So let's see. Can I use CodeSandbox Live? I guess so, but I actually don't want. I want to do this myself without taking a lot of help. So let's see. Okay, fine. I'm gonna bring chat here because otherwise I won't look at it. Fine, Chatterjee, what's up? It's been a while. How is life at Gatsby? Okay, I'm running out of window space. There we go. Let's see. So what I already did was I wrote some of this text down, and now it exists, but it's not styled at all. And I created a few empty components. I'm importing the sidebar, the options, I guess, and the section, which I'm calling this thing as a section. So, and if I open my components file, it's literally divs with children. There is nothing inside it yet. I'm gonna write that part of the code now. Wait, I don't know if this theme is good for. Should I use a light theme so that it's easier on the eyes for a long time? Okay, I'm gonna stick to Night Owl for now, and then decide that later. Okay, what's up with Charlie? Gatsby Lovely is on Raspberry Cloud. Okay, that's a nice plug. Yeah, congrats on that. I read about that sounds really interesting. I haven't tried it yet. Those designs look really good. Guerrilla marketing 101. Yeah. Okay, so back to design. Okay, I wanna focus here, strategy. I wanna ship this before stand up. I've also got all my tokens here, so I have like all my colors and I have some spacing and font weights. This is the theme file that I like to use. It's based on system UI. This is what I like to quickly prototype. So let's see. First of all, we've got this sidebar. So our stack contains style components, style from style, and I like to bring the CSS util from style system. So my sidebar is probably, can I make an aside? Okay, I don't know how to use it, so I'm gonna make a div and then read up if aside is the right thing to use. And then I have the CSS wrapper. So this CSS wrapper is not from style components. That's a different CSS util. I'm using the one from style system, which I'd show what it does. So I want a background color of some gray. Let's find out what this is. So I can either, find out and spec this and see what this is. So this is 2424, right? And I can paste it here. Or what I like to do is use tokens. So this is gray 500 and my grays are laid out here. This matches the grays I have in my theme file. So then what I can do is I can say use grays 500 and it should work. Yeah, so it actually matches the same gray, which is perfect. The color is just white. Let me say white. That's cool. And okay, so there's a lot of padding here. Let me see. Okay, I like how this aligns with this pretty nicely. And how much is this padding on the left? It's 16 pixels, which, because we use a 4-point grid, it's already in my tokens as the 4th spacing. So it's like 16 is this one, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The cool thing is it's a 4-point grid, so 4 into 4 is 16. That's easy. Let's see, can I give padding to my sidebar? I probably can't because I also have this section thing going on. So the padding should be inside the section, I'm guessing. Okay, let's try this. Oh, okay, I have this section which has a thingy. Okay, I should probably make 2 of these style components. There's the section, which is the container, which is this whole thing. And then there's the section header and the section body. Okay, so I'm gonna put all of this in one file and then think about cleaning it later. Let's see. Okay, I don't need to export this. I can just make a section header, which is styled. Okay, this is, I feel bad about using a div because I just don't know what the right element would be. But the section header, which is this blob, has a, okay, what's the font size here? I don't know. Probably keep this here. This is font size of 13. Cool. Which I wish I did the token setup first, because that is this one. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3. Font size 3. And it has this thingy, but it also has a border, which is, oh, my theme is not set up here. I don't like that. Border color is grays of 242424 500. Okay, that's convenient. Wait, isn't this also gray 500? That doesn't sound right. Oh, this is the fill. What's the border? Stroke is 04. Alright. 800. Boop. Okay, my comments are going on. What's up? Hello. What's up? Hello. Small world. Good, thank. What's up, Sid and Sid? Oh my god, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna let you folks hang out in the comment section. That's fun. And see where's my code at. Okay, so this still looks like shit. I have a section header, which should be this section header, and then it should take the title. Okay, that did something. The editor is this. Wait, what's the font size of all of this? I think everything is. Okay, let's see, what is this? Okay, it's 11, which is. I really have to like sync Figma in this to be able to do it quicker. This is 2. So the whole sidebar has a font size of 2. Alright, that's nicer, but I can't see anything now, so I'm just gonna zoom in. Or actually, it's fine. Cool, so we got this. Then we got the section, which should have a lot of padding. The section body. Cool, so let's create another one of these. Section body, which has a padding. Okay, this is padding X, which is 16, and then I have padding Y, which is a lot more, I guess. So padding top is actually not too much. It's 16, but padding bottom is 32. Okay, so I'm going to say padding top is the same, 16, but padding bottom is 32, which is 8 on the grid. Oh wait, let's try both. Nope. Okay, now this should be wrapped in a section body, and props children should go inside. Okay, we got something. So this is good. This also has a lot of. Actually, I'm gonna try to get this roughly the same, which is, it's supposed to be 32 in height. So let's see, style div habit CSS. Let's just say it's 32 in height, and then we're gonna figure out how to make that padding. Line height is also 32, so that it's full, and that should give it a lot more breathing space. Oh my god, what did I do? Oh damn, it shouldn't be 32, it should be 32 pixels, or just 1, I guess. Actually, I don't know what the font size is. Let's start with 32 pixels. Alright, that looks sweet. And then we also need to make these float towards the extreme. So this is a display flex now with justify content. What's the one called? Space between. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, this looks pretty dope. The inputs look stupid. Let's do the inputs then. Export const input is a style, I don't know, input with a background color of, I don't know, 0404. 040404 is 800. Gray is 800. Glenn has never watched a coding live stream before. Glad to be a first. Not weird at all. Yeah, they're pretty interesting if because if I do something wrong, you get to shout at me for doing something wrong. Okay, I'm gonna change my input type text to the input I have. So the big input, the component. Let's see. Alright, we got something. It's not nice. Where's the number? I'm also gonna change this. Okay, this looks better but ugly. So the border color, what should the border color be? Let's see. Okay, it has a stroke of 04, but the color is 15. I think we switched those up. So this should be 700. Actually, you know what? Let's try it out. If I make both of these 800, what does it look like? Oh, and the color has to be white then. Okay, so this is my favorite part. Like, if I want a lighter shade, I don't have to look at hex colors. I don't have to, pull out the document, pull out DevTools and like try to find the right color. I'm just gonna make it one shade lighter and see if that gives me something better. Yeah, I really like how it looks. This is what I want. The height of these is now tricky because you do want it to have enough space, but this seems too much. Maybe we need a padding. Okay, we need a margin between two options. Okay, I'm just gonna go for a margin bottom of 2 units, which in my scale means on a 4-point grid it's 2 into 4, which is 8. Okay, we've got this. We want border radius. Let's see, Danny has 2 pixels radius. Did I make radii part of my theme? I didn't. I'm gonna do that. So I don't want pixel radii, I want them to have names. So I'm gonna say a small one should be 2 pixel, and then a medium one can be 4. But if you want a really large one, you gotta have like super rounded 10, and then I have a round which is just 50%. So in this case, I want a small border radius. Border radius is small. And because border radius would take from radii, it picks it up on its own, and you see it's. Can you even see her? Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, you can see it does exist. Let's make it really large. Yeah, and you see that looks that looks a little wonky, but it does remind me that we should have more padding here. So padding, I'm gonna give it like padding like this on the x-axis of 2 points on the grid, and that should make this better. Yeah, that's nice. Tip, tip, tip. Okay, and this should be small. Okay. Something. Is there a link for me to browse around as you're doing it? You can go to this link on top, but you'll have to keep reloading it. So I can start a live session, and now you can go to this link, and then I think you'll follow along of what I do. I'm not really sure how that works, to be honest. So I'm gonna drop this link somewhere. Let's put it here. Come on. And then hopefully this would let you be in my code base but not break everything. Okay. So let's see. Why is this input not as pretty as this input? That's not right. Okay, so there are multiple things here. One, I don't want it to look the same either. This has a width to it. I wonder if I should take width from like the props, or maybe I should make it. Okay, that should be easy. If it's inside the options, then I can, okay, I know this nesting is supposed to work. So if inside the option I have an input, then the width of that should be, I don't really know, I don't know, eyeball it, but I'm also scared. 48, that seems like a lot of pixels, but okay, let's make it 48. And by default I want it to be like 100% of the width, so I'm going to say width 100%. And now if it's an input on its own, then it should take, whoop, what just happened? No, wait, did any of you do this? Let's see. Okay, so only I should be able to edit, that sounds right, but can I get my changes back? No. Okay, I have a feature request for myself, which is the owner of the live session should be able to undo things. That would be cool. But for now, it's cool. I can write these again. Import React from React. That's gonna be a fun revision. I'm using style components. Import CSS from the style system. Boop. And I want to export sidebar. Okay, for now I'm just gonna go back to what I had, which is, nope, it's a div which spits out, okay, so I want a bunch of these, and I want a section, an option, and an input. Out of these, the section should be a section, and the input should be an input. Oh, that's not how input works. Input with props, I guess. That should do it. Cool. Let's see. Can I get a working build? Yeah. All right. So now let's start. So first of all, I want this to be a style div with background color. Haha, this is cheating because I already know what I did last time, but I don't know the colors. Let's see. This should be 2424, which in my theme means 500. Boom. This is what color is white. Okay, so now we got this. In the section, I want two things, which is I want a section header, styled, but it's not actually the header, it's like this blob, which CSS. Okay, and nope, and a section body. Okay, that seems about right. And then inside the section, I want both of them to exist. So the section body, I really don't like this emit, where it completes it for you, but it doesn't always know what you're trying to do. Section header should have the title. Amazing. Now in the body should have this left padding, which is, I don't really know what this is. it's 16, so it's padding X 16. Here's a copy from a tab admin. Oh my god, that would be cool. Dot. So KP, you are welcome. Thank you so much, Karthik. Okay. I hope this works and I don't break everything again. Okay, it's saving, that's alright. Hey, oh, that's a lot of progress. Thank you. Okay, I forgot. Okay, this is where we were, where I want the input to be 48. Now all of you don't have to be bored when I do the whole thing over again. Okay, width is 48. So this is perfect, but the default width, I want it to be 100. Where's my input? There we go. Width for that should be 100%. So that takes the entire space, unless it's inside an option where the option overrides it. I probably should make this configurable inside the input and not from the outside. Oh boy, okay, 100. This should be inside, like with the padding involved, or padding of the section. So it shouldn't take 100% of the entire thingy, but the thing inside. Now, okay, I don't know what the right way to do this is. I'm gonna try a bunch of things where I'm gonna change the box model, and that's not right. And I'm gonna make this position relative, which is also not right. You can clearly say I'm an expert here. Oh, there we go. So border box, but I have a feeling that only works because my padding outside and inside are the same, and that's not really the right answer here. But for now, I'm gonna go for it. Border box. Yeah, that's probably not right. I should find out after. Waiting for the sandbox to update. That's taking a little too slow. Okay. Cool. We want. Okay, this should be a select box, so that's something to remember. This is not enough space. Let's go to the dark theme like this. Where does this come from? Comes from an option. That's cool. Oh, the checkboxes are too tiny to be aligned correctly. So this should not only have justify content but also align items to the center. Okay, that should do it. And the checkboxes should also be all the way on the right, not on the left. That's another thing to remember. Then let's see. I want to see if this section can be done. So this thingy, the arrow, I can probably use an icon for an SVG, which is the toggle icon. I can make it a prop which returns SVG, and it doesn't actually need, it would be useful to pass props so that I can pass the style or the color for this. That would work. Okay, let's see. Props. And yeah, this fill should be current color so that I can style the I can style the component and the color goes all the way down. That would be cool. Okay. Wow, it's gotten really slow. I wonder if it's my RAM or if it's the live session. Something to look at. Okay, so the toggle icon should be inside here, I guess. right? Oh boy, okay, I'm gonna reload this page, because if it's a memory problem, then Chrome should throw away all that memory of the tab so that the new tab has it. How does the Grays 700 theming work? That's a brilliant question. Let me fix my component just a sec. Yeah, this is what I was on. Toggle icon. Okay. Yeah, so how this works is I've got my entire application wrapped in a theme provider, and inside this theme I have my colors defined. So I have colors, and then I have grays and blues and stuff. So when I use in my components, when I use style system with style components, I can say background color is grays 500 and pass it via the style system CSS utility. So what that does is it goes through my theme, which is provided through the theme provider, and it checks if it's background color, then I want to use the properties of color. So it goes through my color object and finds all the grays and the 500 of it. So it kind of is, this is like a dot notation. It converts it into an object and finds the right color. Same thing goes for font size 2. What it does is it goes to the font sizes scale, and it finds, it's an array, so it finds 0, 1, 2, which is this one. So now when I want to bump up this font size, if I'm like designing and I think this is not big enough, I can just make this 3 and it gets the next number on the scale. So yeah, I've been designing, or more like writing my code like this for just a little while, and I think it's really powerful. It's been really useful. Okay, so you see there's the header, but it's also here, which is silly because not every section has a title. So we're gonna add a conditional here, and if it props the title, I should probably destructure this. So I have title and children, and I don't care about anything else here. Okay, I should probably destructure the rest and pass them to the section, because you might have like a data test ID, or I don't know, something else. I don't know what the user of this section might want. Okay, that's nicer. Thank you so much. I've been thinking of using style system myself. Do you like using it? I'm actually a really big fan. Simply because it lets me write my CSS. It's not even CSS. It lets me write my styles like this, the way I would want to write them. So I'm not writing syntax. I'm writing styles from a scale, and things like padding top it already comes from like a grid system that we have. So it's like a 4-point grid system, and I can say use the 4th one. And if it's not enough, I'm gonna bump it up to 5. So I really like that like the quick prototype angle of it. Okay, sorry, back to the section header. So this section header, I need some space everywhere. So I need like, I don't like this 13. It should probably be 12. I'm gonna assume that's a mistake from Danny, and this should be 4. Padding Y should be 4. Padding X is 8. Okay, so padding X is 8. That should be good. So yeah, this padding looks good, but I also want their spacing between these two. So like, this is cheating, but it totally works. I can say there's an SVG inside it, and I can add styles to the SVG by saying, just put margin right as, let's say, 2 right now, and then see if it's enough. I kind of like it. That's enough. And then I want a border on the whole thing. So let's say border 1 pixel solid, and border color should be, I actually don't know what it is. I'm just gonna assume it's 300 and see if it's enough. Nope, that's the wrong one. Very bad guess. Let's see, section. Nope. fill. Where is this stroke coming from? Oh, there we go. It's 0404. That's very heavy. I don't have these memorized yet. I'm assuming when I have them memorized, it's gonna be faster. Or I just want Danny to use the colors. Like, yeah, just say gray 800. Don't make me guess. Gray 800. That's the way to go. Okay, why does it? Oh, I got two of these. Bye bye. Nice. This looks good. It looks a little too much though. Oh, okay. But that's kind of how it is. This alignment is not good right now. This is a little too down. It should align on the top. We can work with that. And now the section should also fold and stuff. So let's do the easiest thing we know of what to do, which is add a state hook. I'm gonna grab this, put it in a return, and then add some state. So const open is open, react.useState. By default I don't want it to be open, so it should be false, which means the body should only be visible if it's open. That seems about right. And on the section header I want to say on click and be able to toggle it to the opposite of open. Okay, so this is good, but what happened to my header? Oh, if there is no title, then there is no logic of opening it. Okay, so I'm gonna say if title exists, then it should be false, otherwise it should be true, which kind of sounds like the opposite. It should just be not title, but I'm gonna leave this here. Okay, so this is open by default. This you can toggle, which also means section header should have some styles. So section header first of all should say cursor pointer, which makes me think I should be using a button here. If it's something you can click to effect, this should not be here. This should be a button, which comes with its own styles, but we can change those. So the background is transparent. We already have border and it has a lot of width. It should be full width. Whoop. Or I could just make it display block with text align left. So it seems like a lot of extra work, but it's more like it's semantically better, because if you're using like a tab here, it would focus on this editor, but if it's a div, it would just skip it and it wouldn't ever read this. So this kind of works better. I want 100% width. Okay, great. So these are the styles to make it behave like a full thingy, and the rest is perfect. Yeah, this looks way better. It's a button. I should also add hover styles, which can be, I think I can just do add hover. And okay, so the design doesn't really say what I should do, so I'm gonna make a guess and say background color, I want it to be lighter, so I'm gonna go for gray. What's the background? Whoop, background is in the sidebar. 500. Okay, so then I want it to be 400, I think. Let's see if that works. Nope, too light. I want it to be dark. 600 then. I don't think we have a 600. Yeah, I have it as pink to remind me that we don't have it yet, and we will define it when we need something in between. Oh, actually this looks pretty cool. I like how this goes. Huh. Okay, the other thing is this font size is entirely too small. I don't think it's legible. I'm gonna bump it up one scale. Okay, that's better. Then maybe this should be 4. Is that too big? Let's try it. Section header should have font size 4. That might be too big. Yikes. Okay, so maybe we should play around font weight and make it medium and then see. Do we have font weights defined? We do. Nice. I did this. Okay, medium is 500, everything else is 4. And this already looks a little fat, which is good. Okay. I am happy with how this looks. I'm going to quickly try to add one more for this preview. Make some space. Go back to my index. Okay, so let's go. Preview. Close the section. The section body should have a row. So this is option. Show preview. And it has a input type checkbox. Because I don't have these switches yet. And you see this already looks pretty cool. Like it by default. It's the incremental work once you do the initial components is so good. Open navigation bar. Oh, I was gonna worry about how do I do this, but we don't actually. We deprecated this feature, so I don't even need this. And then this could go up. Okay, so that's interesting. These two are checked by default, so this should be checked and checked, while the console should be not checked. Open console. Okay, it keeps reloading. I keep losing my status, so I'm gonna add a default open, which should decide if it's open or not. Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah, that looks good. And then you can open this. Close this. The font size here is just wrong. It should match the font size of its container, which is 3. Where's my input? Font size 3. Great. Yeah, this is better. Maybe a little more padding. But yeah, this is starting to look nicer. There's like so much polish to be done here, but we'll get there. Okay, let's see. Sorry for missing all of this. Hello. Okay. Do you have some sort of guideline where you can refer to make sure you're following design decisions? We don't really have any documented because we're a very small company, but I do have this Figma file. So when I know what I'm doing, I just copy it, but I do, like go in on Figma and then check, for example, where am I focused? I lost it. Okay. So when I'm focused on something, this is the whole sidebar. If you use the same naming convention in Figma as well, I can just see this is gray 500. We're still getting used to it, so we don't use it all the time. Like this input is 1515. It's the hex code. So then I go and check what this hex code means to me. But yeah. Then, no. I think the properties in the theme file are the design guidelines. Yeah, I mean, they're the guidelines, but they're not rules, right? They're just like to help me out. I agree, but that does not prevent him to guess when he sees a reference. Yeah, so a lot of this is like by eye. If it looks odd, it probably is odd. Because the theme file is also built by me. So like I might have just copied the wrong value until we use like the same thing. But yeah, I do make some decisions. For example, here I changed the font size because it looks good on Figma, but it looks too tiny in the browser, and that's just how the font renders. So what I end up doing is when I find something like this, I change it to see if it works or not. And then I'll go back to Danny, who is the designer on this project, and ask him or show him that can we bump this up one level. And then you also have something like hovers on the sidebar are always one level darker. Yeah, so there's also some of that, but that's kind of a mix of, if I have it in the design, then it's perfect. The decision's already made. But our design tools are kind of terrible at showing UX. They're really good at showing interfaces, but not so much the interactions of it. So unless somebody takes the pain of doing that just once and making it level, you kind of have to guess. So this is my guess here, but I'm gonna take this back to Danny and say, this is what I did. If you agree, then let's just let's just put it in the design so that it's a standard now. Or if you don't like it, then let me know what we should. So I don't know. That's how UI dev is like. There's a lot of talking between designers and dev to figure out if we're doing the right thing. And I can make my design guesses, but I'm not a designer, so I'm not even good at it. So yeah, I try to take his help as much as I can. Cool. It's almost 12 noon where I'm sitting, so that means it's stand-up time. I'm gonna go grab a glass of water and go to my stand-up. So thank you for joining, and yeah, thank you for keeping like the comment section super lively. I like how people are chit-chatting and then people are replying to each other's doubts. That makes my job a lot easier. So yep, maybe I'll see you tomorrow, because this, as you can see, this is nowhere near done. This is way nicer than what I have here. So there's more work to do here. All right, I will see you again later. Bye. Oh damn, I don't know how to turn this thing off. Okay, there's a button here. Bye bye.